to Destination Dionna. I'm Deanna, love guide to all and kept wife strategist to the women I'm called to serve. Please consider my channel your self-help learning library for love. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time for our weekly coaching gem, where I give guidance to elevate your love experience. And on Wednesdays at 1 p.m., tune in for Sounds About Wife, where I give my unique wife perspective and prepare professional women like you to become kept wives. So hit that subscribe button and let's start this love journey together. See you soon, my loves. So there's a belief that gets so many women in trouble. And this is it. If I feel drawn to him, it must mean something. Listen, attraction feels meaningful because it's physical, it's emotional, and usually it's immediate. But attraction is not discernment. It's not alignment. Attraction is a signal, but it should not be your strategy. So by the end of this episode, you'll understand why being attracted to someone has never really been the issue and why relying on attraction alone keeps smart women stuck in the same relationship patterns. So if you're new here, welcome to Sounds About Wife. I'm Deanna Washington, the Kept Wife Strategist and your Relational Wealth Advocate. I guide women who are not experiencing the love the way they desire it, but they are now ready to be prepared for something better. So let's get into today's conversation. Why attract isn't enough to build a healthy relationship. And this is season 3, episode 1. So let me just say this plainly. You can be attracted to somebody and they be inconsistent. You can be attracted to someone and they're unavailable. You can be attracted to someone who also destabilizes your nervous system. What I find to be true oftentimes is women confuse attraction with alignment. They end up trying to make sense of red flags instead of just accepting them and respecting them for what they are. So a couple of things I want to point out, right? Attraction is automatic. Hey, Nicole, I forgot about Sounds of My Wife. Yes, Wednesday is my kept wife day. I'm doing all the lessons, all the teaching in the academy and the community, all the things. Yes. So a couple things, right? Attraction is automatic. It's biological, it's emotional, sometimes it's even trauma-based. But it requires no level of discernment, no preparation, no maturity. And that's why everyone has felt it, but why it's not the differentiator. Right? Attraction doesn't ask questions. It doesn't vet character, consistency, leadership, or capacity. That's the big one, right? It reacts. And reactions are not a strategy for marriage. And I know most of my ladies that tune into my channel, they are either married or preparing for marriage. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Captain Nicole. So, something else important to note, right? Attraction feels, keyword, feels like certainty, but it's not, right? It's not. It gives sensation, but it's not data, right? Women who rely on it, just attraction, They stay in relationships that feel intense, involved, but they don't actually progress. So after spending over a decade serving many smart and really accomplished women, I've noticed a few things that I want to bring to your attention, right? Smart women don't struggle with attraction. They don't, right? They're usually attractive. So they usually attract a certain type, but they do tend to struggle with interpretation, right? Attraction often gets mistaken for alignment or potential, right? Or they'll say, this feels different. Oh, hey, Duchess. She said, hey, Kepties. When it's simply just like doing what chemistry does, right? And it could be no more than that, right? When attraction leads what's going on, patterns will just repeat, right? So you'll get the same emotional highs, you'll get the same blind spots, you'll get the same red flags, and they'll be explained away, right? They'll just be wrapped in a new face, a new circumstance, a new story, but it'll be the same thing. But here's the good news, right? Because I am not against attraction, right? It is needed. Attraction isn't the enemy, but letting it drive your process is. When attraction is placed in the passenger seat, right? Not the driver's seat, patterns actually break and you get to develop more discernment about choosing well, right? And this is the big reason why highly intelligent, very successful women can still feel confused in love. Here's where you want to really tune in. These women have mastered logic everywhere, except where feelings are involved. And attraction actually exploits that gap. So I love to give real life examples, right? So something you can visualize, like that would make this message even more clear. So put it like this. From a relational wealth perspective, attraction is like noticing a beautiful storefront. The displays can be nice. You can like how the outfits are put together. The colors can catch your eye, right? You can love the presentation, but it tells you nothing about what's actually inside, how it's run, or whether or not it's even solvent. You can't tell if it's really a good fit for you just based on the look, based on your attraction to it. So let's talk about how you can actually make the shift. I'm going to give you some examples, right? And some perspective shifts and even some word shifts that you can make. A woman who is prepared for love properly, she doesn't ask the question, do I like him? She doesn't ask that question. Instead, she asks, does my life become more peaceful, more stable, and more expansive in his presence? You see the difference? Like, you can like a lot of things that are not necessarily good for you. Okay? And that difference actually is more about discernment and alignment. So even more specifically, right? Stop asking, do I like him? And shift to, is he equipped? Ooh, that'll get rid of a lot of people. Is he equipped? Because attraction without evaluation, that's what keeps women emotionally invested in men who are not prepared to lead them. And you know, my big thing is I want to prepare you to marry well, not just get married. Been there, done that. We want to marry well so you can sustain marriage. And being married is a wealth activator. It is an abundance creator, right? So, and specifically, for my ladies that are desiring marriage, something I want to point out is marriage requires way more than a spark, those attraction sparks, right? It requires suitability. So attraction should be used to open the door, but suitability is actually what decides whether the relationship can be sustained, protected, and led well. So pause right here, right? And I want you to kind of do your own assessment. Have you prioritized attraction too much? And attraction is not just the physical, right? Sometimes we have had our type, a specific look, a specific career, a specific location, a specific whatever. We are attracted to something specific instead of being more focused on characteristics, right? How a person is showing up consistently for themselves. So you can't be love bombed and fooled, right? So, you know, I always want you to have the tools that equip you to choose better. Choose better. And when I say better, we're not downing our choices in people, right? We're not downing individuals, but we are at a space where we want to elevate how we think. We want to elevate how we observe. We want to elevate how we assess and how we choose. You want to be choosing from a much more confident, informed space now, right? We are growing. We are maturing. Today's message feels like it was clarifying for you. You've been feeling a shift yourself, like where you have been moving away from the butterflies and being so into just that attraction and that spark. And you've been thinking more about suitability, stability, long term, character, all of those things, right? Let this be confirmation for you. And if this message felt a little uncomfortable, it might be because attraction has been doing too much of your decision making. And I'll be the first to say that's not a character flaw, it's just a preparation gap. Okay. And I'd love to help you fill that gap if that's the case. This is the kind of foundational work that is normalized in my Kept Academy, right? It's not coaching, it's not pressure, but it is preparation. Inside the Kept Academy, we stabilize how you think about relationships. So you stop repeating cycles and actually start choosing with clarity. One thing I've noticed is women don't come to me, completely unprepared. They don't. Women come to me when they got their stuff together, they feel good about themselves, all the things. But they come to me because they want to be properly prepared to choose well. That's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. And on February 5th, inside the Kept Academy, I'm actually doing a workshop, a power partner profile workshop, where I lay it all out for you. I tell you what you should be looking for, what you shouldn't be paying that much attention, how to recognize these keepers, right? The men that want wives to be kept, not the ones you got to convince. We don't do that. We focus on ourselves, we prepare ourselves, we up level ourselves so that we only attract men like that. The giddy stage. That's so funny. My mom actually used that word to describe me when I met my husband. But listen, your girl was assessing though. I was giddy for all the right reasons. Nothing wrong with attraction. That's what I'm saying. It's not the problem. It's only the problem when you are letting that drive your decision making. So, yeah, February 5th, I am doing a full training where I actually walk you through how to create a profile. I didn't have a list for my husband. I mean, it's a list like in common terms, but I had a full-on profile. The characteristics of this man, how he was governing himself. I walk you through the whole thing so that you can attract the right things. And you will do that once you're clear about it. So if you want access to that training, which also gives you access to my foundational coursework and a sisterhood of successful women with the same focus, okay? You'll find the Academy link below in the episode notes. So that was my message. If all hearts and minds are clear, I will see you next Wednesday for another live episode of Sounds About Wife, where we talk about the mindset, identity, and relational wealth required to experience abundant love that actually sustains you. So I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. Hold on. Some y'all be getting them in. Under that stage, male will tell one who he really. Hold on. Okay, under that stage, male will tell one who he really is. But we be in that giddy stage, we don't listen, hear, nor see. That is the point. That is the exact point I was trying to make. Like, we get so excited, right, about the things that are attracting us, those feelings, those emotions, that we completely turn our brains off from accurately assessing, being able to observe what he's doing, not just getting so excited about what he's saying and the promises that he's making. You are listening to his words, but you are looking for alignment with his actions. Is what he's doing aligning with what he's promising? And I can't say this enough. This probably is a whole different other lesson, but you need to pay more attention to just how he governs himself in his life, right? Because anyone can plan a fancy date. Anyone can do some things to impress you, get you some flowers and do those things. Like, that can be performative. But what you're looking for is consistency in character, right? There's a difference between a man who brings flowers because he knows typically women like that, it'll impress her, all the things, and a man that believes, okay, I provide flowers because it shows my appreciation. It's a thoughtful gesture, and I do that regularly. Complete difference. And you have to not get so wrapped up in the attraction and those emotions that you can't pay attention long enough to see the difference. But in my academy, that's what the ladies learn and that's what they anchor into. So if you are interested, the link is below. So yes, I will see you all next Wednesday, same time, Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am live here. Quick lessons, 15 and 20 minutes, in and out. Make the time for yourself. It will matter. Okay. And as always, keep it kept.